Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Stamp It Up with Jamie. I'm Jamie. This is my Wednesday weekly live that I do every week, Wednesday, 11 o'clock Eastern Time. You may be catching this on replay, or maybe you're here with me live. Thank you so much for joining me. I really just appreciate you taking a moment out of your day to spend some time stamping with me. I'm going to make a card today using the potted geraniums bundle. I'm going to show you that in just a second. But before we dive into that, again, my name is Jamie. I am a Stampin' Up! Independent demonstrator in upstate New York. And just a quick reminder that I can't even believe we're talking annual catalog. Like, I'm not even sure how that came so quickly. But beginning of April, I will be ordering annual catalogs for customers, which, by the way, if you have placed an order from me in the past year, you will have received an email. Gosh, when did I send it? Last week, I think I sent it. Anyways, make sure you check it. It's very important. It's about the annual catalog. If you have shopped through me and you didn't see that email, let me know so that we can figure out, I can get it to you. But anyways, if so this is the current annual catalog. It's not the new one. We don't have it yet, but it'll be coming soon enough. This is the current annual catalog. And it has a normal binding on it. It is big, glorious, and awesome. It's 184 pages. I don't know how big the new one will be, but it's usually on the bigger side. So I always offer to anyone that would like to participate, if you place an order of $75 in the month of March, I will upgrade your catalog to a spiral binding, which is huge. So you would go from just your normal binding to a spiral binding. And what's big about this and why I love it, so like, I swear, once you go spiral binding, you will never go back to normal. You can fold it over on itself. It will stay flat. It doesn't kind of implode as you're flipping through. You can open up to the first couple pages. It just makes like browsing through it so much easier. It is so well worth its weight in gold. So place your $75 order in the month of March, and you will you don't have to request it. Like, you don't have to ask for it to be done. I'll contact you about actually getting the catalog, but it will go from a normal binding to a spiral binding. It's huge. I'm telling you, once you go spiral binding for the big annual catalog, you will never want to open up another one like this. You will become like a catalog snob. So it should come with a warning, really. So, I just threw that on my couch and now it's falling. So order $75 and more, you'll get your spiral binding. I love it. You will too. I promise. Angie's here. Good morning, Deborah, Karen, Patricia, Judy, Ramona. Oh, my friend Sonia from Montreal. Sonia saved my behind. So I did a presentation, a Stampin' Up! Presentation. When did I do that? November, I think it was. And I had traveled from New York up to Montreal, and I forgot my D block, which I kind of needed to do the stamping. And so Sonia came to the rescue and brought me a D block. So I will forever be in debt to her for that, for having my back. So, okay, let me do this. There we go. That's the card we're going to make today. The potted geraniums, I've kind of been just showing you all things from the new mini catalog and focusing on them. But I've had the potted geraniums for a hot second and I never used it. And I'm kind of like we just got a huge big snowstorm and I'm starting to get like that spring fever. Like, I want the windows open. I want to see flowers. I love just that, the sound of the birds chirping when you wake up in the morning. You know what I mean? So I figured there's no flowers, although my tulips are starting to pop, but no real flowers in the gardens yet, and no windows open and no chirping birds. So let's bring spring to us. So potted geraniums, love it so much. It's what I first see when I see this stamp set, and what I love so much are all the sentiments. If I'm looking for something and I want a lot of bang for my buck, I want a variety of images, and we'll get into that in a second. But I also want a lot of sentiments, like so many that you can do. We have some smaller ones that'll fit in this little, I don't know what it's called. Is it called a tag? what is that called? Where are all my flower people? I don't know what that's called, but you know, you could do just for you, friend, smile. And then we have other ones. We have a birthday sentiment. Sorry, you can't even read it. Birthday sentiment, like a just because one, that would be a good like wedding card, wishing you happiness today and always, or a birthday card as well. Here for you every step of the way. That's a great, oops, sorry, there you go. Like sympathy, thinking of you card. So a variety of sentiments. I think it covers so many bases that we need. Thanks, Ramona. I'm so glad you like it. And then if you have the bundle, so if you have the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, you can buy the bundle. You can make stamped geraniums and you can make cardstock geraniums, which, oh, it's a marker. That's what it's called. I think I called it a tag. No, what did I call it on my blog? I don't know what I called it, but I did not call it a marker. And I think I made note, like, I don't really know the name. Shocker. Me not know the name of something. So you can do stamped geraniums like I did here. And we have a pot. I know that's called a pot. A planter. Actually, is it called a planter, not a pot? Tag works. You guys are so sweet. But you can also cut out geraniums, okay? And this is all like two-step stamping or two-step cutting, like a builder, geranium builder. I don't know. Guys, I'm a bit of a hot mess this morning. Two-step stamping where we're going to do that together. Or let me show you. This one shows it a little better. You can like cut out twice for using the die cuts. It is called a pot. Okay. Thank you. I'm such a hot mess this morning. So basically you cut out like the back of the leaf and then the top of the leaf and you can layer them over one another. Same here. Under, like, you can do a background flower and then the more detailed flower, layer them over each other. It gives it just a little bit more depth. For this one, I didn't. I just cut both images in the same color. So both the detailed and the not detailed. Why did my thing fall? Oh, it totally fell. Oh dear, I have to adhere that somehow. That's floating in there. But anyways, I'll figure that out. I did them both in Garden Green and then both in Blushing Bride. This was yesterday's card. This is Thursday's. Basically the same layout. Like if I love the layout, why are we switching it? Just kind of varying. I'm using some embossed cardstock behind it. And this one I did the split card texture dies, I think they're called. But here you can see how it looks differently if you're doing two different cardstock colors. So same cardstock color or switch it up and do two different colors. My little, what did you call it? A marker. My marker is falling. There we go. I got to adhere that a little better. And then this is today's card. And then I think this is Friday's card. I don't even know, to be honest with you. I wanted still to keep the red geraniums, right? Because geraniums are red. Although I did pink geraniums, but I wanted to bring in some, like another color other than red and green. So I have a predominant mint macaron gingham background. So I love this. I love how this die right here is so pretty. Of course, it's not going to focus. There we go. Focus on it. It's stitched. It's really pretty. So it fits a number of these sentiments. So this is, I made, for the lifetime of love you've given me. I'm going to make that a Mother's Day card. I hope my mom's not watching. But you can also do a birthday card. Like I said, you can do different sentiments in the marker. Or you can bring in a third color. Anyways, I cannot talk today. Lots of options. I think this is a really great set. Geraniums can fit for just about anything, as you can see here. But this is the card we're going to make today. This is the card we're going to make today. So I don't have my bone folder out. I'm so glad you like them, Judy. Thank you so much. Okay. So I'm starting off with Poppy Parade. It's interesting. So for this card, I went with Sweet Sorbet geraniums. For this card, I went Sweet Sorbet in Real Red, I had to think. And then for this one, I went Poppy Parade. So we have a nice, there's a bunch of reds that you can use. And I even threw in a pink. I threw in a Blushing Bride geranium. So, you know, geraniums are primarily red. Yes, of course. But we have a couple of different reds you can pick and kind of bring some variation in. So many reasons I need this set now. Oh my gosh, that's the best comment. Um, so I'm using Poppy Parade for this card, but you can easily use Real Red. You can easily use Sweet Sorbet. You can easily use a pink. You could go purple. I mean, we don't have to always interpret literally, right? Geraniums are red. Although I did Google it and I did see pink ones, so I threw in the pink, but you could do purple geraniums. No one's going to call you out on it. Just have fun. This is 4¼ by 11. So our standard top fold portrait cardstock. So 4¼ by 11, scored at 5½. Oh my gosh, they actually come in all different colors. Always gets the red. I did Google. I guess I didn't scroll very far. I just saw predominantly red, and then I saw a couple. They were like almost like white, like they were like a gradient. So like white, light pink, and then like a brighter pink in the middle. So I did pink, but I'll have to Google again and maybe scroll a little farther, or maybe Google geranium colors. Maybe that's what I'll do. Okay, so that's our card-based Poppy Parade. Then, and I've been using this tons. I am so sorry if you're getting sick of it by now, but I'm really trying to use up a lot of my color collection cards designer paper. So this is the Poppy Parade Plaid. Like I've said in past videos, all of our color collections and in colors come in their own designer series paper pack. And I am a huge fan, because sometimes you want like a Poppy Parade designer paper, but we don't have any Poppy Parade, like any designer paper that has Poppy Parade. I just go to the color collections and I pull it out. And I have a feeling we're going to get new patterns with the annual catalog, so I'm trying to use up what I have. So I have a Poppy Parade pattern. Say that 10 times fast. This is 3 5/8 by 4 7/8. I had to really think about it. And that's going to go angled. I'm jumping ahead. I'm not going to do that yet, but that's what's coming down the pike. I used to run a plant sale for the schools. Of course, Karen knows then. She knows all the things. Okay, let's do some stamping, okay? So that's too big. That's not the one I want. I want this one, right? Yes. So this is 3½ by 4 7/8. I'm a very, my measurements, I'm very faithful to measurements. So I usually do like 1/4 inch longer on the side. So 3½ by 4 3/4, I think I said. And me personally, I find it easier. You can do this so many different ways. And I just realized I grabbed the wrong green. Oh, wow. I think this is, that's either Pear Pizzazz or Old Olive, and I grabbed Garden Green. So, oops. You can do two-step stamping a couple of different ways. I find it easier. Where's my stamp? I find it easier to stamp whatever I'm going to stamp the darkest first, because it's easier for me to see the darker color. This one's going to get stamped off, so it's going to be a lighter shade. So sometimes when I'm lining them up, I have a hard time seeing the lighter color through my stamp. So me personally, you can do it, whatever works for you, do it. But for me personally, I find doing the darker stamp first. Okay. And I'm going to work my way up. I'm going to do the pot first, and everything is two-step stamping. So there's 2 of everything. I'm going to do the pot first. And so I already tore down my stamps. We're getting ready to sell the house. And so I didn't want to have to bring all my ink pads over. They're stored. So I literally just pulled the 3 colors I need. So I can't swap it out. So this, I think, is Pear Pizzazz, but I'm going to use Garden Green because I pulled it by accident, just so you know. So Garden Green, Poppy Parade, and Gray Granite. I guess you'll have to let me know which one you like more when we're all done. And I'm going to use a foam mat underneath. Someone mentioned, might have been someone on here. Someone mentioned even using a catalog underneath. If you don't have a foam mat, just throw a catalog underneath just to give it a little bit of cushion, especially when you're using your photopolymer stamps. I thought that was a great tip. I've always just grabbed my foam mat, but if you have a catalog, grab your catalog. So Gray Granite is our pot. I don't really know size spacing. Let's see. It's kind of like 2/3, 1/3, 1/3. Do I have a mark on that? I feel like I have a mark on that. Oh, well. We're going to go here and hope for the best. So that's full strength gray granite. Then I'm going to come in with the other one that is like the full size of the pot. I'm going to stamp off and go right over and take my time and line up. I'm lining up my left side and stamp down. It's a little to the right, but that's okay. When you're doing two-step stamping, find one part that needs to be lined up. Do not try and line up this whole thing. It'll be overwhelming. So I just took this left side here and lined up the left sides. Don't worry about the right. If you line up part of it, the rest of it will naturally just fall into place. Okay, so garden green, I'm going to again come in with the more detailed, this one, the one that's more detailed. Give it a good ink up. Okay. Oh, I'm a little to the right. Ooh, and I'm a little high. Oh, wow. I think we're good. I really should have put this on a bigger block. I didn't feel like getting the bigger block out. Ooh, I'm a little up. It's a floating geranium. Oh, do I want to fix that? I really don't want to. We're not going to fix it. Because that's where we're at right now. We're not going to fix it. It's maybe instead of putting my bow on the marker, I put it to cover that little. That's what embellishments are, right? They're just opportunities to cover our mistakes. Hello, Annie from Quebec. My sister-in-law lives, no, excuse me. She lives in Montreal, not Quebec. Marker to the rescue. Plop it right there. Happy accidents. Okay, so I'm just kind of putting this over because I want to get a sense of how it's going to line up. Just kind of get a feel for it before you actually stamp down. Like, okay, I kind of have an idea of what I'm doing. If you'd like help, you could always use the Stamparatus would be your best friend in doing two-step stamping because essentially you could line up where you want the stamp to go and then pick it up with a hinge and bam, you know you're hitting it in the right spot. But I'm feeling adventurous. A little like risk taking. So I'm going to stamp off. The hardest part, honestly, is because my camera is in my way. So normally I would get like right over it and on like super close, but my phone is right in the way. Okay, it's down. It's down. We're committed. It's there. What did you? The bow will fix it. Bows fix everything, right? I could use the marker too. Yeah, for sure. I'm going to show you what I did with the marker. It's a little trick. Probably no one noticed, but I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you when we get there. Okay. Now, I definitely went way higher with this guy. Like he's definitely higher. My geranium is really, I may have to trim this down a little. I may have to do a little trimming because it is really high, but we're going to stamp Poppy Parade. Oh, this looks like it needs to be re-inked. Hopefully we're good. Hopefully it gives me enough juice and all my refills are stored. So they're not, I can't even grab them. I'm going to do one here. Did I just stamp that upside down? I think I did. Okay. Those are going to be upside down. These ones are going to be right. I don't know which ones are upside down and which ones are right. Did I stamp them the same both ways? I did. I stamped them both upside down. This card is a comedy of errors. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is fun. I'm so glad you guys came to card class today and you're learning everything not to do. Oh my goodness. Okay, this is just really funny. I flipped it. Both times I flipped it. Oh my gosh. Okay. And then I'm going to do one separate to cut out. Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. We can do this. Jamie, pull your act together. So I'm going to stamp off. Now, I did find the flowers the most challenging to line up. And honestly, if you follow me on Instagram, you're going to see this because the reel I shared, when did I share it? Did I share it today? No, I shared it yesterday, I think. I struggled a little bit. The struggle was real. So if they don't line up perfectly, listen, nobody's going to notice. If your flowers are upside down, just go with it. Nobody's going to call you out because your flowers are upside down. And if they do, don't send them another card because they're not. Oh my gosh, they're upside down. It's all okay, Judy says. It's all good. Oh my goodness. And I put my tissues away. I don't have any. Oh my gosh, guys, what is going on around here? Oh, hold on. Maybe I didn't do this one upside down. Nope, that one I didn't do upside down. Okay, so just one of them is upside down. I don't even know if that's lined up. It's good enough. We're calling that good enough. I can't believe I did those. Oh goodness, this is fun times. Okay, so and I forgot. Oh no, I didn't. I'm good. I'm good. The little tag I'm gonna stamp in gray granite. And like I said, I think there's 3 different words, sentiments that will fill the little nut tag, the marker. I would not have known they were upside down if you had not said anything. You're so sweet, Judy. It's our little secret. Don't anybody out me. There's a number of different, there's smile, friend, just for you. I love the friend one, honestly. So we're going to do friend. And I'm doing that in the Poppy Parade as well. You never know what you're going to get, Judy. I mean, sometimes I have my act together. It's a rare occasion usually. And sometimes I'm, stamping flowers upside down and high on my cardstock. Like that is, oops. I'm going to have to do some cutting because that is just the proportions of it is so off. Okay. So mine have been well loved, as you can see. And there are, like I said, dies that you can just cut out a cardstock geranium, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So like these 2 would layer for like this. Okay. We're not doing that today, but I just wanted to point that out. And then we have dies that just cut out the stamped images. So I'm not using this now. I'm going to use this one to cut out the flower and this one to cut out the little marker. And I realized I forgot one thing. So there's like this little like shadow, a little shadow that you can do. It's really cool. I love it. So I'm going to stamp off gray granite and just stamp it right below. It's so faint. It's like you can barely see it, but it adds a nice little touch. Oh my gosh. It's cockeyed. It's high. It's not touching the pot. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the moral of the story, okay? Like handmade card making is not perfect. If you want perfect, I'm not going to name names, but there are a big card making company out there that you can buy a perfect card from. You will pay through the roof for said perfect card. But if you would like perfect card, then you need to go that route. Okay, this is handmade. Lots of love. If I go like that, do you get feedback? Can you hear me if I do that? I must have hit a button on my phone. Can you hear me? Okay. And you don't have any feedback? Because the sound must have gone off on my phone. Okay, so I'm running off my computer sound now, and normally I get a kickback, so I wonder what happened with my phone. That's weird. Did I turn Do Not Disturb on? I think I did. Maybe someone called me. Of course I lost sound. Oh, this is so funny. Hi, Tina. Come on in. Okay, I'm going to do a little trimming because this is so lopsided. It looks not right to me. So I'm going to start by trimming a quarter off the bottom. Okay, that looks better. And then if I trim a quarter off the side, I'm going to cut a little bit of that geranium. If I do that, does that look better? I'm just going to cut it. Okay. That looks better, right? It doesn't look quite so. I even feel like I could trim like another eighth maybe. Okay. There we go. Okay. But because I trimmed that, then I need to trim my designer paper because I don't want it too excessively big. So I'm going to trim it to 4.5 by 3 3/8. So don't go by the measurements I'm giving you now. I mean, if you like it better, by all means. I just trimmed it. And that's usually, and honestly, how I usually stamp is I kind of make, and then I'm like, oh, that looks a little odd. And I trim it down and I cut it right. Yeah, looks a little better. But it's usually how I end up stamping that's why I don't do, tutorials or measurements because they're kind of evolve as I stamp. So this guy, I wanted geraniums there, but they kind of overlap weird. So I kind of covered that overlap weird with that guy. This is how it's supposed to look. Let's just show you how it's supposed to look and how it doesn't look. Okay, so I told you I was going to give you a trick. So I have the marker. I learned this is a marker. And I didn't want it like showing. One thing you could do is just snip it and adhere it over. Or we can do a little cutting. So what I did is I took, now be very careful because your snips are super strong. You could also use an X-Acto knife, which would be better. But I don't have an X-Acto knife. So I just used my snips and I'm just cutting a little slit in the top of my pot. Yeah, just big enough so I can get my marker to sit through. And what I like about it is that it doesn't have a dimensional on it, but it kind of pops off a little bit. And then the back, I literally am taking a piece of Scotch tape. You could also use tear and tape or something, whatever you want to use, just to kind of make sure it's not going anywhere. But it kind of is a little 3D and it just slides right in there. Oh, I didn't cover that. Oh, I'm going to have to do that with the bow. So that's what I did for the tag. Marker. It's not a tag. It's a marker. So just kind of a sweet way of, you can cut it and just kind of adhere it so it's kind of stuck in it, or just, cut a little slit in your cardstock, fit it in, and it's a little far down than I would like, but there, that's a little better. Okay. I'm going to do the tag in a second. I'm going to adhere my stamped panel here that is all sorts of wonky to my designer paper, a little offset, just so it's a little peekaboo from behind. That's all I wanted, was just a little bit of peeking through. 5 dimensionals, because gotta do an odd number of hot mess today, Deborah. I am such a hot mess today. I am. Okay. Now the white is going to go straight, but the designer papers. Oh, I wish I had put an embossed background on that. Doesn't that look like it needs an embossed background? Oh, it is what it is. And then I'm taking my linen thread, which is my favorite anything, ribbon, twine, thread. And I love see how it comes off the roll all curly. And maybe because I'm curly, that's why I like it so much. But look how cute it is. It's so curly and fun. And so I kind of loosely pull it out so it's not like super tight. But I want it to stay kind of curly, honestly. So I'm going to attempt to tie a bow. You know how I feel about tying bows. I don't like it. That's how I feel about it. I don't like it. But if I'm going to tie a bow, linen thread is super forgiving. And I kind of hold loosely the knot and pull. And I find that it's less likely to get all tangled. Oh, see, that's what I love. It's really long. I'm going to trim it a little, but I love the bow tails that are just ridiculously long. Oh, sugars. I do not have liquid glue because I wasn't planning on it. Okay, let's use a glue dot. I was, so for this one, I actually wrapped it around the tag and tied the bow. It's physically around that. Not the tag, the marker. Oh my gosh. It's not a tag, it's a marker. Why do I keep calling it a tag? I have tag in my head. I don't usually use glue dots because I prefer glue, but my glue is not on my table right now. Actually, I wonder if it's one of my drawers. Oh, no, that's my old one. I don't know where my glue is. I moved everything. I think it's in my storage room. True story. I was just like throwing. The lady to come take the pictures of the house was supposed to come yesterday, but because of the storm, she pushed it to Monday. So I had like 12 hours notice that she was coming to take pictures of the house. And so I was literally running around like a crazy person and like throwing things in like drawers and the cabinets. And we have like a wine chest. I was throwing my daughter's like her clock and all this stuff in the wine chest. I mean, it was just ridiculous. So I got up this morning to prepare for the live and I was like, shoot, where did I use an extension cord for my lights? I was like, where did I put the extension cord? Because I was like throwing things in any drawer or cabinet I can find. I found them, but it took me 3 looks before I got to the right place. Anyways, I don't know how I got on that tangent. Oh, my liquid glue. So I don't know where my liquid glue is. I'm going to give this a little bit of a haircut, but I'm going to leave it still pretty long because I love the curls. I love just how curly that is on the bottom. Okie dokie. We are almost done, and this is the easiest part. So I have a 4 by 5 1/4 to go on the inside, and I'm just going to adhere. That is not. Why did I think that was long enough? I thought it was long enough. Okay, it's not. So we're going to throw that away. We're just going to get this down. Guys, I need to just put the white flag. Like, I surrender to the day. Oh my goodness, how funny. My sound goes off. I stamp flowers upside down. I think that's the right measurement. It's clearly not. And you know what? Do you know what? I was going to do an envelope flap, but I don't have my liquid glue. Let's see if I can do it with seal. It's easier with liquid glue by far because it also kind of like oozes a little bit. So this is 2 and something. God, I hope it's big enough. It's 2 1/4. It's going to be tight. Apparently is big enough, but that's what that piece was left over. And I thought, oh, that's perfect. I'll make an envelope flap with it. Give it a little bit of a trim. And then we're going to call it a day. And I'm going to go, I don't know, drink a cup of coffee, go take a nap. I don't know. Is it noon yet somewhere to have a drink? I tried selling my house once. I am not a minimalist person. Oh no. It's just super stressful because you have to like clear everything out. But then like the card is done, but I'm going to tell you my story. So we like emptied as much as we could our closets and took all the empty, like we put all the clothes that we could into storage. And then we had all these hangers left over. So we like put them in boxes and put them in storage. Well, the other day we must have had a lot of clothes that were dirty when we did this, because then my son came, Mom, I need hangers. My daughter came, Mom, I need hangers. My husband, where are the hangers? So we put all these hangers into storage, and now we need hangers. I had to go to the other day to the store and buy hangers. We have, I don't even know how many hangers in storage, but because they were all put away in storage, I had to go buy hangers. So it's like silly stuff like that just kind of makes your world all sorts of chaos and upside down. And, it's all going to be fine. This card worked. Wrong color. I mean, stamped wrong, but it's just maybe a reflection of my life right now. How do you live in an empty magazine looking house? Exactly. Like 5 of us, 3 cats. I work from home, and yet somehow I have to make the house look like there's no one here. Easy peasy. An iced tea with lemon. Oh my gosh, Karen, you know me so well. Oh my gosh, I feel seen. That's my drink of choice. You got it. You know me so well. Okay, guys, that's today's card. I hope you got a good laugh today. I love this set. I think it's really sweet. I love the sentiments. I love the dies that go with it. I'm featuring it all this week. So make sure that you follow me on my blog and all the places and see all the fun and goodies. And if you're looking for updates on how we're going with selling our house, make sure you follow me on Instagram. I'm filling you in my stories all this week. So have a wonderful rest of your week, everyone. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. I will be back, Lord willing, next week, unless, something comes up. But same place, same time. In the meantime, happy stamping, everyone. Bye-bye.